What's up guys, welcome back to another episode. Today we're making some White Castle sliders. We're gonna make some original sliders, cheese sliders, corn dog nibblers, and we're gonna finish it off with a strawberry and banana smoothie. Now, some quick facts about White Castle. It was established back in 1921 by two founders, Walter Anderson and Billy Ingram. That was 98 years ago. That's pretty crazy. This company's been along that long. Obviously they're doing something right. Another cool fact is Lisa Ingram is the current CEO of the company today. Most locations of White Castle are in Eastern United States, Mid-Eastern United States, talking about Chicago, St. Louis, Indiana. So you know what, you kind of have to be in a certain part of the country to have a White Castle at your doorstep, but nonetheless, they make a great product. A lot of people think the same thing because they've been around for a long time. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start making these sliders. The 5 holes in these slider patties are very important because the cooking technique for these patties is steaming. Now this idea came from an employee suggestion way back in the day because they were getting super busy and they needed some way of sending the burgers out faster. So an employee came with the idea of putting the 5 holes in the patty so the steam can not only just come from the sides, but it can come from the center through the patty, and so there's more heat dispersed all around so it can cook the patties faster. So to stay true to White Castle, you have to put the 5 holes in your patties. So yeah. Okay, so now that we have the patties in the freezer and they're gonna take some time, we wanna go ahead and rehydrate some onions because White Castle uses dehydrated onions for their sliders. So we went ahead and we picked some up. Now to rehydrate these onions, it's just 1-to-1. So it's 1 part onion to 1 part water. Okay, so now that we have that all of the way, we're gonna go ahead and start on our corn dog nibblers. Now, for the corn dog nibblers, it's a sweet corn dog batter. Now with this batter, the best way to coat the hot dogs, and in this case at White Castle, they use chicken dogs, if you didn't know. The best way to coat these chicken dogs is to mix the batter, and we wanna refrigerate it because we want the batter to be as cold as possible to coat the chicken dogs and then dump into the hot oil. So let's go ahead and make the corn nibbler batter now. Okay, so now with your chicken dogs, you're just gonna wanna cut them into thirds. So okay, so I went ahead and got some dinner rolls. Now these dinner rolls are they're gonna be the perfect size for these White Castle sliders. So we're gonna go ahead and get these cut in half. And it's very important when you cook the burgers, you wanna put the buns on top right away because that traps in the steam and that helps cook the burgers. All right guys, so we're waiting for the grill to come up to temperature, the oil to reach 365 degrees Fahrenheit for the corn nibblers. So let's go ahead and whip this smoothie up now. It's super simple. It's just strawberries, banana, yogurt, milk, and honey. It's actually a really healthy smoothie. So let's go ahead and knock this out right now. All right, so now that the smoothie's all blended up, we're gonna go ahead and throw it in the freezer so it can get all the ice crystals and thicken up. And by that time, we'll be done cooking our burgers and our corn nibblers, so it'll be absolutely perfect. All right, so the patties are frozen solid, so that's perfect. So we can go ahead, break them up into 12 and get them on the grill. Okay, now that we have our burgers cooking, we got the smoothie in the freezer, we're gonna go ahead and start frying the corn nibblers. All right, without further ado, while everything is semi-hot, I mean as hot as it can be, but I actually forgot pickles. Now, I know the pickles are like the crinkle cut pickles, but this is what I got, so I'm just gonna quickly slice a couple pickles. Hold on, let's give this a try. Yeah, that's good. Now let's try this cheese. I'm gonna throw a couple pickles on here. There we go. White Castle slider cheese. These are literally 4-biters. Wow, now right off the bat, honestly, you can taste the onions. Now, it's not onions in a bad way. I mean, if you don't like onions, then you might not like the slider with onions. You know, and anyone who cringed about putting the buns on top of the raw patties, that's a fair enough cringe. But as you can see, the patties are completely cooked and there's no blood on the buns. So the buns stay on there for long enough time that the patty completely cooks and the steam cooks the patty, and it also cooks any residual meat juices that happen to get onto the bun. So it's fine. You just have to leave it on there long enough. So let's go ahead and just try an original slider just with the patty and the pickles. Cheers. This is right up my alley because I like simple burgers. I know on this channel I make a lot of crazy burgers, but when it comes down to it, I just like simple burger. Let's try one of these. Corn nibblers. Turned out pretty well. Nice sweet cornmeal batter. You know, it really does taste like kind of a carnival dog. And there's never been anything too crazy about like a big flavor difference between like chicken dogs and beef dogs or pork and beef dogs. I mean, there can be, but you know, legit. Yeah, you definitely have to give it to a simple burger because clearly it's what people want. You know, there's a cult following for White Castle, and it's because the simplicity of their product. People can be confident that when they go back to White Castle, they know exactly what they're gonna get every time and time again. And I think that's not a secret, but that's an attribute for White Castle's success. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a pretty good burger. Yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna keep chowing down. I have a lot of work to do, and I'm also gonna bring these to some friends of mine so they can try these out as well. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, slap that like button, subscribe if you wanna see more. Remember to hit that notification bell. And also, if you leave a comment down below, I'll make sure to get back to you. I try to answer every comment. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Peace.